Oh, the virus is definitely something like this.
Very evil.
Yes, taking over the
Yeah,
world.
evil.
We will kill you all.
Did anyone ever tell you, you've got a great voice for werewolves? The awkwardness goes way down.
Also a roller coaster
Yeah,
for us narrators, because
Stuff. It's kind of hard to be depressed when you're, swinging a sword at a big dragon or something. One of my favorite things about living in Los Angeles is when you go to the dentist and they say, "What do you do?" When you say voice actor, they don't go, "Oh, do a voice."
It's amazing how much heart goes into a few minutes of audio.
it is a privilege to be paid for my art.
I worked at a grocery store for a few years, and during COVID. And so
Oh, wow.
I very much miss my coworkers, but I do not miss working at a grocery store at all.
Right. Okay, you want me to really? Okay. So, what do you listen to when you're driving around or when you're at the gym or whatever you're doing?
So I am a huge fan of fantasy and sci-fi. I'm a big audiobook nerd, love podcasts, all sorts of anything with crazy characters and big epic stories are my thing.
So, you were a fan of the medium that you now work in
Yes.
before you got the job?
Absolutely, yeah. It's
Wow.
a dream come true getting to work on this type of stuff, yeah.
Interesting. And is that true for all of you?
Yeah, yeah, I love romantasy.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, and it's very interesting to hear that you're a big fan.
That is like such a jackpot of an occupation. You're like,
Yes.
I'm a fan of this. Oh, and now I get to do this. Well, that's great. Graydon, which variant of COVID do you have, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
Oh, it's one that hasn't hit the news yet.
Oh, good.
It's the
it's that super
2027 variant.
That's great, because I'll be honest with you, when
Early
I get
adopter.
a COVID strain, I want to be like hip with it. I want to be on the new one, I don't want one of these old school variants.
The hipster of COVID.
Yeah.
basically.
Absolutely, it's so done otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Graydon, since we're still on you and the mask, and I'm glad you're wearing that. I wish more people would. Constantine, I know
I know. It's tough to live.
I know your
I get it.
lifestyle. I wish you would respect our health more.
I like to live on the edge. I'm sorry about that, though. I'm sorry for all of you.
You are all vocal actors. Can you give me your COVID voice?
I'm really frizzy.
It's good. Now, how about the virus itself? If the virus itself had a voice.
Oh, the virus is definitely something like this.
Very
Yes,
evil.
taking over the world.
Evil.
And the virus's minions,
We will kill you all.
That's good. I know, Constantine, you are not a vocal actor, but why don't you get a shot too? Just
Oh, and see, every voice I do sounds like Christopher Walken, so they'll all just sound
Okay, that's good. That's good. Can we afford that? We can't afford that. Don't do that. We don't have the rights to that. I wanted to ask you all this question as we go around the room, but Lydia, I'll start with you. What was your journey to vocal acting like? Have you always been in theater, in the arts, or how did it happen?
I've been acting since I was a kid. Started in theater, then in college I moved over to film and like on-camera work. And then when 2020 hit, I got very, very sick and couldn't be on set. And I always loved, like, my favorite part of creating characters was always creating the voice that went with it. And I never even thought about voice acting as a thing I could do. And then I have a friend who's very, very successful in VO, and I hopped on the phone with him. I was like, how does this work? And he spent like 2.5 hours like giving me class recommendations, microphones to look at, things to do, people to learn from. And it's just very slowly become my favorite part of the industry.
How did you know that you could do it? Like, is it something where someone's like, I do stand-up comedy, and I will say there are moments in my life where people were like, you're funny, and I was like, oh, maybe I could do this, Did anyone ever tell you, you've got a great voice for werewolves?
Well, funny
There it
fact,
is.
when I was a kid, I was so awkward. When I felt uncomfortable, I would bark at people.
Interesting.
as you would.
And
And that must have helped the social situation, I would
it
imagine.
helped immensely.
The awkwardness goes way down. when
Way
you start
down when you bark
barking
at people.
Yeah.
But what's
mess
so
with you
funny
guys.
is I now have a niche. So I narrate a werewolf show, and then I also just did a toy as a dog.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Some running
I
theme.
have a niche going going on.
That's a lot of
And so
pressure.
I've barked a lot.
Can we hear a happy bark and then a sassy bark?
Happy bark or
Okay.
Yes.
sassy bark.
Yeah, I nailed it. How about an evil bark? Pretty good.
Yeah,
I
not
felt
bad.
scared.
Oh, well, I mean, I can jump on that one. One of the key skills of being a voiceover artist at all is being able to translate what the client asks for into what they actually want. Because words can be a little squishy, right? They can have a lot of different meanings. And so when a client asks for a happy bark or a sassy bark, they've got an idea of what that means. But you need to be able to not only deliver what they've asked for, but when they say, that's not quite it, you need to be able to figure out, okay, so they said this, but what they meant was this, and then deliver on that. Right? You guys agree?
Agreed.
And on a Pocket FM level, when you are given a new show, how do you approach getting into the mind of each of the different characters that you're now asked to do? I guess we can go around there, but great, we could start with you.
Sure. Well, it's a lot of fun because pocket shows have so many characters on them, right? So ideally, you get a little bit of a show Bible up front that gives you a sense of where things are going. But some characters are very thin on the page. They might only be around for a scene. They might only have a few lines, and those lines are important. But who are they? And so if there isn't anything to guide you in the show Bible or on the page, and you don't want to bother the writing team with every question that pops into your head, you just have to take a swing and think, all right, this seems to make sense to me. Let's put it in there and then run with it.
And how, well, Chris, I'll ask you this, but how collaborative is the process at working at Pocket? I mean, do you have an open email to the writers or an open Slack, an open phone call to kind of get into their head about what they imagine for the characters they've created?
Sort of. A lot of it is done kind of independently with a little bit of feedback coming from the creative team, but they give us the freedom to sort of run with it and kind of do what we want with it, which is a lot of fun.
And do you feel that when you're constructing a character, I mean, say it is thin, the way it's described, do you jot down notes? Are you writing a character's journal?
Yeah, so I have like a whole document that's got the name of the character, physical description, vocal description, where they come in, all of that stuff, their relationships. So I keep a very like detailed log of that to keep everything straight in my own head.
Do you find that your own, I guess I'd ask you this, but do you find that if your life at that moment matches where the character's life is at in that moment, it makes it easier or harder? Like, I always imagine, on a lot of these Pocket shows, so much romance, it's juicy romance. I think that's what we all like about it. But if you were in a period in your life where you couldn't get a date, and you were heartbroken, and you hated romance, and you had sworn off love, how do you go, oh, it feels so great to be in love? Like, how do you get in? I mean, that's my best voice. This is why I'm not doing Target Bullseye. But how do you cultivate those feelings inside if maybe they're not happening for you at that time?
Oh, part of what's so great about Pocket shows is the happy ever after doesn't last all that long.
So you could go they're going to get dumped pretty soon.
Yeah,
so,
well, it's also a roller coaster
Yeah,
for us narrators, because it's like 1 minute your character is having the most amazing kiss of their life, and then the next, like, some horrible big bad is coming out from behind, and it's like a acting firework, because it's like a little pew 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 pew, and it's just a delight.
For all of you, and specifically you, because I know your show so well, Torn Between Alphas, is it cathartic in that way? Like, let's say you're going through something, or you're having a rough day, and then you have so much range of emotion to deal with in all of your stories, where it's like what you just said, romance, and then the pack house is being attacked by 20 werewolves, or a character in one of your stories is going on like an epic journey of some kind. Like, do you guys feel like you can, like most actors, like bring your day with you to set that day and maybe get some sort of cathartic release?
Oh, absolutely. Especially, narrating these like big epic quests and battle sequences and stuff. It's kind of hard to be depressed when you're, swinging a sword at a big dragon or something. So.
But does the escape, okay, so I guess my question is, based on what you said, my question is, does the world of fantasy still offer you an escape now that you are a part of that world?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Really? It hasn't dulled it at all?
No, not at all. Just like being a voice actor hasn't dulled like watching animation or listening to audiobooks for me. I'm still a huge fan of the mediums that I work in.
Graydon, let me ask you this. You've got an incredible voice.
Thank you very much.
I can't imagine you didn't always have a little bit of that incredible voice. Like, how much of where you're at now in your career is God-given talent, God-given vocal cords, or how much of it is have you cultivated, have you chiseled that marble into the instrument today?
Wow, those are a lot of very nice things you've said to me. So let me get my ego.
Contractually,
under
they
control.
told me I had to give 3 compliments to each person. So we're working. Those are your 3. You're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to. I feel like the target when you got 1. We're gonna work on Chris, but
Yeah, we
please
got to
don't-
get some Chris into it.
Constantine, there is no contractual obligation. to
I'm
comments.
well aware. In fact, you're contractually obligated to insult me. So
Right, but you dress so good. I mean, how could I?
Try to keep up with you.
So how much were you just given this voice, or how much have you had to work to
So-
hone it?
I will be honest, I am very fortunate in that a lot of the voice itself, that's just what I got. That's how I was born. I talk a lot. I have always talked a lot. And the voice just kind of continues to refine itself over time. So a lot of that, I'm just very fortunate. But as I'm sure both of you would agree with me, this business is not easy. It doesn't matter how much God-given talent you have.
Right.
You don't just wake up one morning and fall into success. There's this old joke that never really goes out of style that, hey, I became an overnight success and it only took 20 years.
Right.
And that's kind of true. I hustle, and we all hustle. You look at different opportunities. Some are more exciting than others, but you can't judge. You don't judge the opportunity that's before you. You either do it or you don't. And if you do it, you commit to it. And as long as you're always committing to every project and clients can rely on you, there will be more work.
Do you feel a sense of relief being in a steady, every day you've got a gig, you've got this pocket job? You know, I mean, that must be, I just know from my own acting attempts and occasional successes, to have a steady gig is like amazing in this town.
Yeah.
I mean, does that change your perspective on what your career is right now?
Oh, for sure. It is the rare artist in LA who can honestly and legitimately say that they get paid for their art, in some cases at all, much less on the
Very much
regular.
so, yeah.
Art is passion. You know, none of us started this because we wanted to get rich or famous. We did it because we love doing this work.
Well, Mo did. But
I did. It hasn't really panned out in either regard, but that was the goal for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I was kidding in the green room earlier. I have a client that I work with that I would pay to work with instead of getting paid by her. That's how much I enjoy the work and how much I respect her writing. So, you know, it is absolutely incredible to have regular money coming in for a thing that I'm doing. It's very gratifying, and it honestly helped me. Pocket really helped me get over the imposter syndrome that we all
absolutely.
struggle with.
Sure.
That's a great point.
You know, I've done a ton of audiobooks. I've been working for VO as my primary or secondary occupation for about 15 years now. But it still creeps in on you that, well, am I really good enough, or are people just settling for me because I'm convenient? You know, what's really going on? And I have to say, Pocket really helps with that.
Yeah.
Chris, do you remember your first experience getting to know what Pocket was, or how did you end up working for this company?
So I found an audition on Backstage. It was just sort of a general audition looking for narrators, and so I submitted. And
Were you familiar with the app at that time?
no, not at all. I discovered it for the first time on Backstage, and upon getting hired, kind of learned a bit about like what it was, and yeah, was super fascinated. I'm a big fan of audiobooks, but I'd never heard audiobook type stuff with music and sound effects and things to kind of make it more immersive, like an audio drama.
Right.
So yeah, it was really neat kind of learning about what that all was.
Is it? I mean, it must be pretty cool to like put your voice out there, just your voice, and then you get to hear what it sounds like with the audio, with the the soundscape,
Yeah.
and how it all just sort of collaboratively makes it into the incredible thing that it becomes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because you're in your own little padded box with your headphones, and all you've got in your ear is you, and so yeah, to hear all of the sound effects and all of the music is just incredible.
It's a new experience. I've only ever long-term, I think my longest character I worked on before that was about 4 months. So I think my current show I've been working for 7-8 months.
Wow.
And so these characters, they become a part of you. And there's like a deep appreciation for the world, for the writing. I'm fully invested in what's going on in their lives.
And the show you're working on, I do know, Torn Between Alphas, this is a werewolf show.
100%.
We're talking about a lot of beasts. This is a lot of passion.
Peace, yes, beasts, passion.
And you have a background, I think I remember reading this in your bio, that you've worked with dogs before,
Yes,
right?
I was a dog trainer.
That's
for
amazing.
10 years. You were?
I was, yeah.
Oh my
Look at us.
That's so cool.
I also have a lot in common with dogs, as you said.
Yes,
So I
yeah.
usually say I'm more like a dog than people.
Yeah, we tend to find our people
Yep.
who end up being dogs.
Yep.
But the real question is, do dogs have a lot in common with werewolves? Have what you learned as a dog trainer helped you understand the dynamics of the werewolf psyche?
Ooh, okay, so I don't know what your stance on dog training. See, the dog training world can be very,
Contentious?
yes.
Cutthroat.
We already argued over Grayson and Xavier earlier,
It's
so
true,
this
it's
might
true.
be problematic. I'm gonna be honest with you.
We might have a little issue here. No, so there's many schools of thought in the dog training world. The one I come from, alphas is an outdated concept that was disproved. So there's always like a little part of me that's like, no, you don't want them to be alpha. That's silly. A dog wouldn't do that. A wolf wouldn't do that. But that's not as
What do you mean?
exciting.
What does that mean? The concept of the alpha has been disproven.
So
My wife is always telling me I'm not an alpha, and I want to have something to kind of come back with her. But like, well, listen, that's not even a
Okay.
thing anymore. So
okay, so in
Actually, honey,
I mean that would be very red pill.
Yeah, so you gotta
blue
be
pill
careful
alpha.
yeah. I want to know, like, well, look, omegas are really the thing now. So
No, so I can't remember the exact dates, but in the 80s, the guy who wrote the book in the 60s saying like that wolf packs had an alpha, and that it was like a battle to get to the top. In the 80s, he restudied wild wolves, whereas his first study was based on captive wolves, and realized that they don't structure themselves that way. And then that dogs, especially when relation to humans, that's not how they relate to us. It's not a like one-up pack dynamic.
right.
But for werewolves, I mean, they gotta show who's boss.
They gotta show who's
They're
boss.
wolf bears, as Callie calls
Callie
them.
would say, they're wolf
They're
bears.
wolf
Do you-
bears,
do
so
you
they
think-
operate under a different level.
But is the alpha the one that you should end up with romantically, or are you just asking for problems?
Well, see, Callie has two alphas fighting
there's
for
two.
her.
Right,
that's
There's
true.
two. Now,
But isn't one a little more alpha? I mean, I haven't gotten too far in that show, but
and also,
is one
would Callie be better off with just a nice beta?
That's a nice,
Just
sweet
a nice-
guy.
what's his name? Alex, the
Yeah.
best friend. Oh God, Alex is such a. Never mind.
Alex
See,
was
they always like the alpha. This
Alex
is
was
a-
friend zoned pretty hard.
Yeah.
Alex was friend zoned pretty
Right.
hard. I guess it depends on your definition of alpha. See,
Yeah.
Xavier to me is much more like in your face kind of alpha, whereas Grayson's very.
Whoa, she's doing the voice.
He sits back and waits and sees where all the pieces are going. So, who do you consider more of an alpha type
That's a
personality?
very good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, real quick, we're going to welcome in Love, who has joined us.
Can we
Here
clap?
Ah,
Hey.
speaking of alphas, right when alphas come out, love this year.
Hello. Sorry.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I was messed up with this week, so it's okay.
So, Love, we have been talking about the
Werewolves as usual.
werewolves,
Sorry,
Of course.
alphas, and I was asking Lydia, what is the difference between one alpha versus the other alpha, and she was kind of breaking down the different. What type of alpha are you? I guess is my real question.
What am I? Oh, yeah. I have I guess I have a very different energy. Like I'm more of someone who is reserved in the room, but has a lot of thoughts. And then once I'm out there, I can feel a lot of energy. I really like to connect with people, at a very personal level. So, and that's what kind of drives all the relationships, post that. But what about you? What's the energy like? What kind of alphas are?
Quickly, I would say he's a Grayson. And knowing the brothers, I think they're Grayson and Xavier to a T. So.
I have a question, just a general question to Graydon. What is more fun to voice, a hero or a villain?
So this is, I'm going to give the cliche answer, but everybody gives the same one, and it's villains.
Of course.
It's got to be,
It's,
right?
it's always villains, and the reason is you've got so much license. First of all, to go big. If you remember the original Dungeons and Dragons movie where Jeremy Irons was the villain,
Ooh, Jeremy.
this is back 2002, I think, something like that. He devours the scenery. There is nobody on that set had any control over him, and it is glorious to watch. It is not his most artistic performance, but it is pretty glorious to watch. With villains, you just have so much room to push and stretch and just have a lot of fun with it. Heroes usually they're the good guys, so they're more constrained. They can't yell at their friends. They can't.
They have to be redeemable.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
very least, they have to be redeemable, and villains don't. Villains can go down with the ship at the end.
Do you find that when you're playing, do you still play Dungeons and Dragons?
I do.
Do you? I mean, I know a little bit about the game. I know there is a lot of acting it out as you're going. Do you go into your voices? I mean, those must be some really ripping D&D games.
I do. Almost every character that I play, I find a specific voice for. It just helps me, I mean, it's like any other acting challenge, right?
Yeah.
It helps me behave like the character. Except when it comes to rolling the dice. Rolling dice, I'm going to roll as high as I can, no matter how incompetent my character is supposed to be.
Does each character have a different kind of dice rolling technique? They pop it out like that? No? Are they all kind of the same?
No, I haven't.
That's all grading.
That is something for me to look into, though. I'm going to
I
investigate
think there's
that.
levels. There's levels to the dice
Yeah.
rolling. Yeah. Do you have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes, and being someone who does a lot of voices, I like to run games more than playing them, just for that reason of getting to play all of the shopkeeps and the villains and everything other than the hero characters.
How many voices do you think you could do in 1 minute?
Oh,
Let's do it.
Watch.
Let's
Okay,
just,
Here we go.
Love, why don't you give us a simple phrase, like, that is not my macchiato, something that you might say in your regular life.
is not
and we're going to let everybody, we're always saying that.
Yeah,
you
we
get
are
the
all the
long
time.
macchiato, you say, that is not my macchiato, sir.
It's a common line.
I have a
Okay.
good friend for this.
Okay.
So like we have this saying like whenever we get into these meetings, right? Especially like the ones I don't know if we have already discussed CPI promo writing, but we always have this that always get the opens right. Let's do this phrase. I think this is gonna be a fun one. Like to do this in like different voices.
Let's get the opening right.
Yes.
Okay.
all right.
Let's get the, all
So
right.
the line is, let's get the opening right. God damn it, sorry.
Let's get
Let's
the
add some
opening
cosmic
right
flavor to it.
now.
And are we
Alright.
just going to go around?
Yeah,
like
we're gonna go
one,
around.
one,
Yeah,
one,
you got a clock on you. You got to watch.
I do.
All right.
Actually,
This
doesn't have
watch
a
is just
second
it's a
hand.
prop watch.
It is a prop watch. This
Purely
whole outfit is
cosmetic.
propped.
All right.
Good looking
Anybody want to
watch,
go
though.
first?
Sure.
Let's get the openings right now.
Let's get the openings right now.
Next voice.
Let's get the openings right now. Let's get the openings right now. Let's get the openings right now.
Wow.
Let's get the openings right now. 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 Let's get the openings right now.
Ooh, I like that one. That was my favorite.
All right,
You say when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Scene.
Let's get the opening right now. 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 All right. Let's get the opening right now. Let's get the opening right now. Let's get the opening right now. Let's get the opening right now.
So it's so interesting to watch you do this because your expression is changing so much.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
So when you're in the vocal booth, do you ever think, God, if somebody is looking through the window, they must think I am out of my mind.
My dog often, like, sometimes she's in the booth with me, like, under my chair, but if I've, like, kicked her out for whatever reason, I can see her through my little window just staring at me,
Yeah.
like,
What is going on?
are you
Because if you
doing?"
couldn't hear your voice, you just see you be like,
Well, that's what I look like going through traffic down the 405.
right.
That's
fair enough.
Interesting
So you get most of your those creative input from is dealing with those people.
absolutely.
That guy yelled at me in the most creative voice I've ever heard.
An old Englishman just cursed me out from a Honda.
How many people are in that car right now?
Graydon.
All right.
Ready?
Here we go. Set the clock and go.
Showtime.
Let's get the opening right now.
Scottish, I love it.
Let's get the opening right now. Let's get the opening right now. Let's get the opening right now.
Chills.
Let's get the opening right now. 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 Let's get the opening right now.
I feel like the context of what we're talking about is changing with each voice.
with each
What
one,
is the opening that we are discussing?
Every read.
I want to hear. I mean, that was amazing. First of
Yeah,
all,
well,
that was
seriously, round of applause
incredible.
for you.
That was great.
Can I ask a quick question to the room?
Of course.
Do you guys, as actors and voiceover actors, who do all these intricate voices, are you guys, let me frame this the right way. Do you guys like being prompted to do your voices, or are you guys like, oh God, again?
I hope you say yes because I just did.
No,
so if you're
I
like,
get it.
I hate that guy, I'm going to feel very.
no,
It's
no,
very
all I'm asking.
circumstantial. I will say that one of my favorite things about living in Los Angeles is when you go to the dentist and they say, "What do you do?" and you say voice actor, they don't go, "Oh, do a voice." And it's like, well, my face hurts, so no.
But can you maybe get that mirror out of my mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the dentist is like, he's not very good. I do not think he's going to.
It's definitely true that context matters. I went to a stage audition one time, and where you're doing sides or monologues or whatever. And afterwards, the person who was conducting the audition said, "Oh, I see here you do voiceover. Do a funny voice." And I was like, "You don't know how this is supposed to work. I'm going to do the thing you asked because you're casting this show, but in my head, we are having words."
Funny guy, do a voice. I'm sure, you do.
Well, I do stand up.
Make a joke, my friend.
Well, see, people will say that.
Yeah.
One time, I was lucky enough to be on a show, and Robin Williams came on stage. After I was on stage, and someone said to him, "Hey, it's my friend's birthday. Will you wish him happy birthday?" He goes, "It might be your friend's birthday, but I'm a really expensive clown." That is a good line. That is a good line.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's a great line. I mean, I would say that people are like, "Are you that expensive?" Like, I'm really not that expensive. It would be $20
But you gotta pay me.
But yeah, as long as you'll pay. So that was that must happen a lot. And I will say this, I'm guilty of it. When I meet someone who does a voice on one of my favorite shows, I'm always like, I know it's annoying. Of course. It's hard not to because people are such fans of the voices from these shows. I mean, whether it's an animation or, in particular, one of these pocket shows that goes on for so long. It's like your voice is in their head for just such an amazing amount of time, and they're falling asleep next to you. They're listening to you at the gym. Do you feel, I'll just ask you, Lydia, do you feel a certain, a responsibility to the listener, knowing how much your voice is a part of their daily life?
Yes, 100%. I will spend a good amount of time, like if there's something not quite sitting right with how I did a chunk of a section, I will go, even if I'm tired, if I'm exhausted, I'm thinking to myself, there are people who are listening to this, who are paying to listen to me do this voice. It is a privilege to be paid for my art. Yep. I'm going to go back and redo it because someone out there, this might affect them positively. And I got my very first person outside of the Pocket app, found me and was like, "Hey, I really love your show. Thank you so much. You're appreciated."
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
And so
that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
that gave me a renewed sense of purpose with this, of wanting to do right by the audience.
Because when you think of how many people have listened to some of these shows, I mean, I have some of the numbers written down here, but I mean, 50 million people sometimes. You're walking around the street, there's a good chance that someone is listening to your voice right now. And wouldn't they be surprised to be like, "Oh, that's the woman who just married that alpha."
That's all of them.
They mated.
And it's the alpha.
And it's so magical as well, right? Because see, I have this habit of going through all the comments that people leave on these shows, right? And people are just so moved by the especially by the voice, because for them, the show is not the writing, right? It's the voice that kind of fills their day and kind of makes it more magical for them. So how does the comments affect you? Do you change certain things?
Do we read
because
the
of
comments, guys?
So I do read the comments. I really enjoy it because a couple of things. One is commenters will go after each other in the comments. I don't know.
Oh, that's my favorite thing about the internet. When someone says a comment and all of a sudden there's they're getting heckled by a different comment. You just sit back, you're like, "My children, argue my children."
So, it's one thing when somebody says something nice or something mean about me, but when somebody says, "Oh, this story point is so stupid for this reason," and somebody else goes, "You just don't understand the story. This is super important because of this reason." And I'm just sitting back going, you are both very invested. So we are doing our jobs correctly.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. It's so funny that you say that too, because I noticed the same thing on one of our main shows, and I love seeing when like somebody will attack a story point, and then a commenter will be like, actually, you don't get it. This is what happened, and it's so subtext driven. It's not in the show. They're like, this is what happened. And I'm like, hey, power to you. You know the show better than I do.
Right, and you're like, welcome to what it is like to consume art.
Right.
Like everybody has a
Everyone's
different,
own interpretation.
connection to it. I want to just find out a little bit more about you guys, like, just your personal lives a little bit. Where did you grow up?
So I am born and bred South Florida. I've been in LA for about 5 years. Moved out right at the tail end of COVID, which was an interesting experience.
Well, apparently it's ramping back up, though.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't do it, technically.
So, but what was that move like, going from South Florida to LA? I mean, you came out here to pursue acting, vocal acting,
Yep,
everything?
specifically to do voiceover. I originally got into acting when I was a kid, did a little bit of on camera. My parents got me into classes because they were like, you need to learn how to talk in front of people. So that's where that started.
But it is great for that too, right? Like, do you
Yeah.
feel like it helped you with that
Oh, yeah.
experience? Like, because I feel like all the actors I know, the listening, the engagement, I mean, part of, like, it is a actual learning medium for how to be a better person in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
absolutely.
But that must be
active
scary,
listening.
though, right? To be like, all right, I'm leaving Florida, I'm going to LA. I mean, what did your parents think about that?
They were a little terrified for me, and I was a little terrified for myself. I had never been out to LA before. I moved out here completely blind. Furthest west I'd ever been was Colorado. So yeah, coming out here and like seeing the skyline for the first time and seeing the mountains, like now living in the valley, being surrounded by mountains as someone from Florida where everything's flat, it's just magical. But moving out during like the tail end of like the lockdowns kind of was a good thing because I didn't feel pressured to do all of the LA stuff.
Right.
And I was able to kind of just get my feet under me and like exist for a little bit before things opened back up.
I would also imagine that part of the good and the bad of being a vocal artist is you're inside by yourself a lot. And that could be great, and it could probably be lonely, but during the pandemic, that's what we were all doing. So it
Yeah.
probably felt like you were just kind of, the regular routine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love, let me ask you this. And when you work primarily in crime and the thriller shows, correct?
In fact, I started fantasy.
fantasy.
Oh, you did?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, whoever wrote this needs to be fired. Because it was right there. And I would like
Crime and thrillers new,
I would like
but
them
we
taking
all
out a
started with
shot,
fantasy.
if I could.
But that's the funny thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, see, I'm like, I really like consuming a lot of fantasy shows. Like, and I've always had this question, right? If you can do different voices, like, does this feel like a superpower, like, to you? Because you can be like anyone in that moment, right? Like, you can be literally like a super, like maybe like you call dentist, right? Like, you can voice out a dentist, or you can voice out any other character, and just feel that, oh yeah, I really have that influence, right? I can do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm a layman. I can't do any of this shit. Really.
To build on that question, do you guys ever, when you're working on voices, like, go, I'm going to go try this out in the wild, and go, like, talk to people at a bar in a completely different voice? Exactly.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, of course. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
A really funny story. This is going back about 10 years. I was working at a small theater in Santa Monica, and I met someone after the show, and she was from England. So I started talking like
Oh,
this.
God.
And the thing that's amazing is she thought I was native born.
Oh, that's
I had
the biggest
completely
compliment ever.
fooled.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I was riding high that day because she was completely fooled, and I started to feel guilty.
Of course.
So after a couple of minutes,
This
of
sounds like the best
conversation-
romantic comedy. I mean, if you haven't written this is a wasted
She was
opportunity.
married.
Well, there you go.
So
Well, we can
that
change that for the movie, right?
spices it
there you
up.
go. Right, creative adaptation.
Yeah.
But yeah, after a few
Well,
minutes,
maybe she is
I
married and
said,
she's unhappy. I'm like,
There you go. There you go.
no, they're crazy. They're ridiculously happy. It's actually sickening.
sorry to go there.
No.
So you were able to actually fool a native speaker. That has got to be the best compliment a vocal actor can get, I would imagine.
Yeah, and the good part is when I eventually came clean and apologized, she was delighted rather than violent.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it ended
That's
well.
good. That's good.
Yeah, the hijinks that could ensue from that. I got to keep this up for years every time. Hey, you're with your friend. Hey, I'm British. Just go with it.
Lydia, what was your coming to LA journey like?
Ooh, okay.
I hope you're not going to say I was born here, because then we're going to be kind of
Then short. It's,
like,
it's a
back to
very
Grace.
short story.
Yeah.
So my dad served in the Navy. I was born in Maryland. We moved to Virginia. We moved to
What part?
Scotland. Bethesda, Maryland.
All my cousins are in Bethesda.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. There's actually a good question about your cousin James on this too. That I'm going to. Is he still playing hockey?
He's in prison, actually.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I knew this was
Even
not too far.
We moved to Scotland, we moved to England,
Oh, wow.
then San Diego. I went to college at UC Irvine, and then I moved to LA about 10 years ago. And it was the day I moved into my first K-Town apartment was the day my niece was born.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting, my sister's in San Francisco, and we had no furniture, concrete floor. We were eating pizza and drinking a beer with my roommate, and then we were like, toast to Stella. She was born.
Did you toast a Stella?
I was going to say, that would have been
That would have been
perfect.
great, but I think it was a blue moon.
Okay. Well, in the
I was
movie
going to ask
version, it
if
was
you
Stella.
gave her a Korean name just to kind of honor the.
The K-Town apartment.
Yeah, I would have
No.
thought so. Yeah. And was it you came here and immediately you were working or no?
No, to Graydon's point, it was like I'd say the last 3 or 4 years are where things have started progressing more quickly, and I'm seeing success that feels really good. But those first 7 years were tough.
Yeah.
And
What did you do to stick with the dream during those times?
Train dogs.
I trained dogs for a
Trained dogs.
while. I worked in restaurants. I did extras work. And sometimes it felt like the dream was really far away. But I always kept coming back to how much I love acting, how much I love voice work, how much I love people. And even if I got on a little side quest, to put it in our fantasy terms, like I would always come back to the main journey.
Yeah.
I do think one of the best quotes I ever heard about how to make it in show business was Bruce Willis was talking that he came out here with all of his friends, and then everybody gave up and moved home, and 10 years later he became successful.
Yeah,
And it's
slowly
sort of
picked
like
up, yeah.
just
Persistence.
having
You just
that.
can't stop.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to fail is if you stop.
Yep.
That's.
Exactly.
I have a bunch of friends who are actors. My wife's an actress, and we talk about it all the time. It's like the only surefire way that your dream isn't going to become a reality is if you stop. So.
But it's very hard not to, not to question your own ability, and I think we all kind of wonder, am I following a delusion or am I following the signs that are telling me I'm really supposed to do this, and I think it, I guess I would ask you this, Love, when you're hearing a voice, you're thinking about a voice for one of your shows, fantasy, as I understand, I made that change here. Do you know it's the right voice right away, or how many voices do you have to hear to be sure, this is the right voice for this particular property?
Oh yeah, at times like we do like about 5 to 6 auditions like for a show, but I think like it's that so all the shows like even though we call it fantasy, but like they are very very different from each other, right? Like all the characters have a lot of complexities, like emotions that need to be voiced out. So generally like how we do this is like we have a bunch of chapters, and then like we get these auditions in, and then we sit on those like and discuss at length like why does this voice kind of suit this character more generally, and I do believe that we have gotten this right 9 out of 10 times, like if the comments are to be believed, and like I think we have had a lot of success in this process. But I do think that like it's sort of like it's such an intangible thing, you can't define it, that why do you like this voice, but it just clicks, like when you hear the right voice, that like yeah, this is the one for this particular show.
Have you ever been surprised by the results in a good way of a voice? Where you're like, I think this is the right one. The people are like, wow, is that an amazing, show because of this voice?
Yeah, and that's funny. So we had this very interesting experiment. So we had this show called Soul of a Warrior. Like, it's a pretty popular show on the app. We had like one of the voiceovers. We had done 2 voiceovers for that, and this time instead of going for one, we kind of decided that we'll do an experiment. Like let's put 50% of audience on one, and then put 50% of audience on the second one. And to us, we couldn't tell the difference. Like it was more, again, like we thought that both the voices are similar, so it's hard to kind of choose one over the other. But the results were so surprising. Like the second one got insane engagement, and that's when we realized that, I mean, you can't there's no science to it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's at the end of the day, it's more creative. Like people kind of fall in love more with the artist, more with the material, right? And you can't really say that, hey, you like this voice because of these 4 or 5 reasons. And that's when now the process has changed. We do a lot of experimentation, but it's really in the room, we really want 9 to 10 people to say that, hey, this is the right voice for this particular show. So
Yeah, it's intangible, right? Like you can't really
It's
put your
intangible.
finger on it. Just like you said, somebody's voice, somebody's audition, whatever it is, they just capture what the essence is.
Exactly.
And it's like mirror neurons too. As a listener, like you feel it when you listen. Like it hits a frequency, and you're like, no, I'm in for this. I like it. Whereas if you maybe hit the wrong frequency, people are like, not in for this.
And does that go show to show? Like, have you found that if you have a success with a vocal artist on one show, you could plug them into a different show and equal the same kind of success?
But yeah, I think that's where I think this complexity comes in. Like it's not replicable as such. Like it really depends on what kind of material there is, like what are the characters, what is the age, etc. And we have found that like it's all like always we have to like get on the table, like do it from 0 to 1. It's more of a 0 to 1 journey for every show. It's like not really replicable as such. And if it was, then I think like we would have had a lot more successful TV series, movies. But like that's the truth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even after like so much compounded knowledge, it's just hard to get like the next one right.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of this process, I guess. Like that's what makes it more human, more tangible, and like really like amazing in that respect. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I really love that process, like the kind of process that we have now.
That is the magic of the creative just vehicle at itself. You know, it cannot be, you know, your favorite band, you're like, oh, they must make 1,000 more great songs. Nope, that was
Yes.
it. They had that perfect lightning in a bottle moment, you know, which is also what is most frustrating, I think, about creating art.
Right.
Because you think like, oh, I figured out how it's done, but
No,
not
you never know. You
necessarily.
never know what's gonna
Yeah.
hit.
Constantine, your wife's an actress. Why is she not at this table? When are you going to get her a job here?
Hey man, you know,
I'm just trying to vote. I'm trying to mirror her
you're
conversation.
actually helping me out a lot. Right now, to be honest with you.
I am? All right, good. All right, good.
Because I didn't say it, guys. He did.
I feel like you found a way to bring it up about 4 times now. And I know what you're angling at. So I know your wife's like, say it, Constantine, if you're going to keep working these hours.
No, no.
Wow.
My wife is an actress. We actually met.
Well, we got that. We got it.
We met that way.
Wait, what does your wife do?
She is a psychologist.
I'm gonna go.
She's in the Navy.
It was
And,
great.
yeah.
Had a good time.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
Had a
interesting.
really good time. Just relaying that I understand and have been around. But no, she loves VO as well, and it's a journey. It's a grind. You know what I mean? And like you have to stay the course. That's a good segue, actually, Mo.
Constantine gets up as like audio cassette. Oh, it's her voice reel. I don't even know why it's on audio cassette.
You have no idea actually how this is actually working out for me that it came up this way. No, but like to be the journey of creative artists and come to this town where everybody's struggling, everybody wants to do pretty much the same thing, which is make their art their life, and then have to hustle, do all these side jobs, which I did as well. I wanted to be a novelist, guys, and now I'm working in advertising and love Pocket FM. So I get that, and I grew up in restaurants. I worked all those side gigs. My resume reads like a weird Russian novel. So I guess like what I would want to know from you guys is like sort of similar to what Mo said is like what is it like going through that journey and then ending up somewhere like Pocket where you're spending so much time with material, and then also if you guys wouldn't mind sharing like what is like your worst side gig job, if you wouldn't mind telling, because I know I have mine. We'll start with you, Chris.
So, worst side gig. I worked at a grocery store for a few years, and during COVID, and so
Oh, wow.
I very much miss my coworkers, but I do not miss working at a grocery store at all.
But this was in South Florida where COVID never happened, right?
Oh yeah, we just kind of pretended it
It
didn't
didn't exist, right? We were
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah, it's a flu, that'll be fine.
yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah, getting into something like Pocket, like we had talked about earlier, the ability to have a steady paycheck in the arts is such a valuable thing. And these shows, as you know, can go for hundreds of episodes or thousands of episodes at a time, which is really unusual even among audiobooks. Projects don't usually go that long.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a huge boon, and it's almost like a voiceover day job, right? It's the ability to kind of sit down and have your 4 to 8 hours a day or whatever of work, and then you can kind of go and explore all the other stuff too because you have that kind of base to build off of.
Yeah. Was there a moment for you where you got to be like, don't have to do that stupid job anymore?
Oh yeah, I was doing rideshare for a while when I moved out here, and it was great being able to meet people and get like character inspiration. But
Oh yeah, I would imagine that's
Oh, that's so interesting. So do you ever? Because I know in stand-up comedy, if I think of something, I'll like make a voice memo to myself. Do you ever do that? Where you're like,
Oh, yeah.
and you record it yourself, like that guy you just met at Vaughn's had this cadence.
Yep, absolutely, all the
wow.
time. Yeah, if I hear an interesting voice or something, I'll try to steal it, whether it's from like a person that I've just met on the street or shows that I've seen or things. I'm always pulling inspiration from all sorts of sources.
Do you start recording them like, can you speak into this?
I have done that, but only for fellow actors.
What about you, Graydon? I'm imagining you've had some wild jobs on your way up.
I have. I am fortunate in that most of them have been pretty great, but the one that I would not recommend to anybody at the table is litigation attorney. Don't do it.
I was just about to apply to be a
Yeah.
litigation attorney. Oh, that's right. I think I remember hearing that. You were an actual lawyer.
Still
so
licensed
interesting.
in the state of California.
Oh, good. So
Incredible.
can I get your number after this?
Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, I speaking of side quests, after I'd been here for a few years, because I got here in '01, and after I'd been here for a few years, and I wasn't quite finding my way into voiceover. It's what I came for, but the industry was very different back then. There were a whole lot more gatekeepers.
Yeah, it was a lot more insular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so back then, if you didn't have a connection, you weren't doing voiceover for the most part. And so I decided if I was going to be unhappy, I should at least be able to pay my bills. And so I went to law school. And I loved law school. Law school was fantastic. Being a lawyer is a bit of a mixed bag.
Oh, that's the opposite of what I think most lawyers have told me. My brother's a lawyer, and I just remember him just sweating it out in law school, feeling exhausted.
Yep.
And then I guess it depends which kind of legal career you went to. But you've got such a great voice. I imagine you being like a Clarence Darrow type litigator. Just commanding, just commanding the courtroom. He is not guilty, Your Honor. You're like, oh, this is not even a criminal case. What is going on?
Have you been talking to my mother?
Yes, I do often, and I was finding the right. I was going to find the right time to bring that up. Kind of similar to Constance's wife being an actress. I was trying to find the time to, which she is an actress, right?
Yeah, she is.
Still, okay, good.
So fair enough. My mother and my father, when he was still with us, both said, Graydon, you love being an actor, but really, you should be a lawyer because the courtroom is just drama anyway. And that gives you a huge leg up, a huge advantage. And I had to break their hearts and say, Mom, Dad, look, the reality is lawyering is a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
It is a lot of filing things. It is a lot of sitting around in courtrooms and waiting for the judge to call your name. And then when they say, do you have anything to say? Usually the answer is, no, Your Honor, it's in the papers. And then you go back to your office and write more papers.
I think that's true, and I think the reason people have the wrong idea about what it is to be a lawyer is John Grisham. Right around that time, John Grisham novels were very popular, and everyone thought you were a superhero in the courtroom, and then they got their law degrees and they realized you're writing a book report basically every day.
Well, do you remember L.A. Law, the TV
Yeah,
show?
absolutely.
So that was what threw me off, because I watched that when I was way too young to be watching late night television, but somehow I got away with it. And so I thought that that's what it was. Right up until my second semester of law school when I realized I had been horribly, horribly lied to. But I'm a big nerd, so I loved the academia of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I really dove into the work.
So I've been asked to wrap things up. We got to keep moving here because I think they don't want to pay for extra in the studio, and that's fair. And I understand that. They've given me a note to read to camera as the outro, but I thought what would be more fun is if you each read it in your best voice, and we'll let you start. And I want you to be, how about this, evil.
All right.
All right, evil. and you don't have to go through all the lines. You can just kind of do the first few. I'm going to still get paid for this, but they're going to do the work here.
It's amazing how much heart goes into a few minutes of audio.
That's good. That's
Ah,
good.
nice.
That's good. Drunk.
Okay.
A big thanks to our guests for sharing their journey with us today. And thanks to all of you for tuning in.
Okay, Constantine, why don't you choose the you choose the emotion for Graydon on this last one here. You choose the emotion.
What's the last
Something
one?
spicy?
This one?
I think it's this last line here. Did you already see that?
Remember?
No, yeah, that one. Give him some fun here. He's got the specs. He's ready to
so
go.
we did evil. We did drunk.
In love.
Sure. In love.
In love. All
Let's go
right.
romantasy.
He comes in his elements, like it's.
If you enjoyed this look behind the mic, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on what we have in store for you next.
Oh, I mean, I'm swooning. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, sure. Did you do it like it's a courtroom drama and you're talking to the judge?
Oh, that's good.
If you enjoyed this look, one more time. If you enjoyed this look behind the mic, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on what we have in store for you next.
Not guilty! Thank you guys so much. This has been so
seriously,
interesting to hear really what goes into making this incredible artwork that we've all enjoyed and continue to enjoy. And so thank you guys all so much for coming in. I'm Mo Mandel. Check out the next episode, and we'll be right back. Can I get a job? Anybody? Nothing?
Well,
Thank you.